Right.
Right.
Caravan history, campervan history and motorhome history special edition. Basically, we had a caravan, another caravan, another caravan, and another caravan.
Might have been another one, I never know.
Maybe another caravan. A VW transporter campervan, a Fiat Ducato campervan, and this motorhome. So, hope that helps, and we'll see you next week. Our history of caravanning, I used to caravan with my grandparents.
Yeah.
And you staticked.
I staticked, so the idea of trying something that actually moved was pretty exciting.
Yeah, and Jem was probably, what, 3, 4?
3, 4, I should think. Like yeah. So she was excited going out, wanting to go out and about as well.
Yeah, to do other stuff. And we were living in Northwich at the time, and there used to be a dealership called Harrington's. So we went there to look at caravans. And
there was lots and lots and lots, wasn't there?
There was. And as usual, we have a budget and then blow it.
Yep.
And we found a caravan that we liked. And basically, it wouldn't be compatible towing wise with the car, obviously.
John obviously got himself a super duper souped up car.
Yeah. But that really wasn't a problem, because they said, oh, don't worry, we're selling a Frontera that we've traded in for somebody else, so you can buy the new Caravan and the Frontera.
Oh, John was so excited.
Oh, yes, I've never had a 4x4 before, so there we go. And we had some nice times away in that one.
Yep, the layout of that was midships, kitchen and bathroom, and then a lounge at the back and a lounge at the front.
Yeah.
And the lounge at the back had a full wooden sliding door, so it was a bedroom for Jem that we could get nice and quiet in there, but that was then her area for colouring and stuff.
Yeah, so there's a table in there and all that kind of stuff.
And then we converted the front seating area into a bed for us as well.
You know,
so
the usual pull-out slats from the centre little cupboard bit and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, so that was brilliant. The dog that we had at the time slept underneath the bed. That was a really, really good layout, family layout. I like that one. That was a good one.
It was, but I quickly worked out I didn't like towing that much.
No.
And this is going to be a theme that you'll see repeated. So we decided we were going to have a break from having a caravan. So we probably had that for maybe about 2 years.
Yeah.
And then we moved, and I think the moving was the catalyst of not having the caravan as well.
Yeah, because we couldn't find storage. That was just good, or it was silly expensive, or whatever. Yeah.
So we thought, no, we'll skip that. And then what happened after that was we moved to somewhere else that did have storage, and we found that really skinny caravan that fit down the side of the house.
Oh, what was that one? Because we had the Sprite. Was it the Sprite?
It's something like that, yeah.
It was something
but
like
it
that,
was,
wasn't
it was narrow enough. I think it was like 6'6" something that went down the driveway. So
yeah, we had like a vent for the boiler that was in the kitchen that we had to actually take off the wall to get the caravan down. It was brilliant.
Squeeze.
Because I mean, caravan storage was like £100 a month in most places, wasn't it, for the good stuff?
So that was our little move to that one, and the layout of that one, I can't remember exactly.
I think that was the banquet seating, wasn't it?
Oh, was that the one, the banquet seating with the curtains?
Yeah.
And we thought, oh, that'll be ideal because it was a bit shorter and it was the only one we could get down the drive and fitted in our rough kind of spec.
Yeah.
But after a while, that kind of didn't work out as well, did it?
No, I don't think Jem liked the lack of privacy.
Yeah.
Because she was obviously getting after a bit of a break. This was probably early teens.
Yeah.
And she was needing a bit more space for herself, and being right next to us when we were there probably wasn't
great.
The nicest of things. So she wanted a little bit more.
But we had another 4x4 at that stage, which was a Shogun long wheelbase, and we were in France with some friends.
Yep.
Trying to find a little spot for lunch or something like that, as you do, French airs and picnic tables and that. So we drove down this little path, we saw loads of people parked up, kept driving, looking for a space, couldn't find anything. And the further we got down, we noticed we were getting funny looks off people. And it was quickly then worked out we were on like a footpath by that stage, and it was one way. There were two of us, because we were with friends, towing a caravan each. So the road was kind of like, maybe about 3 foot above us, up an embankment to our left.
Quite a way away.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a steep 3 foot.
It was, you could get up at it, which was my thought at the time, I'm not reversing back because I still hate towing. And we drove up this embankment and out and did that way. And
that was one of the cursing things. Cursing.
And I think it was on the same trip as that as well that we boshed the wheel trims on the van, trying to get it around all those silly little French towns and everything.
Yeah, and knocked one of the lights off the back corner, if you remember, when someone's guttering.
Yes.
So every time one of these little things happened, it was just another nail in the towing coffin.
Another catalyst for John saying, no, I don't want to tow a caravan anymore. And I think we had a bit of a break again.
Yep. You see a theme here.
But in each one, you see what drives us back to a caravan in each one is the inner desire just to get away from bricks and mortar and go out into nature, big field, and just have, like, open the doors and you've got all this big nature, big field, do whatever you want.
Yeah, grass beneath your feet, everything just there. You choose what view you want and where you want to go, but you've got all the comforts of home with you all the time. So with having dogs and kids, as everybody will know, it's so nice just to have everything with you that you need and not have to fuss about packing a car up and forgetting things and stuff.
So one of the things we did while we had this Shogun and van was to go for a towing lesson course kind of thing, because Mandy was like, no, you're not getting rid of it, you're not getting rid of it again.
Let's see if there's anything we can learn that might help us.
And the Caravan and Camping Club were running a towing course, and it was in Oldham or somewhere like that.
Yeah.
So he says, we've got to go for this, it's a one-day thing. I think it was like 40 quid or something, and they gave us a little certificate at the end of it. However, what they did give us at the end of it was the information that no one had ever told us before, and that was
that I couldn't tow over 3.5 tons because I passed my test in April 1997.
Yes.
So, yeah. So
that was tricky.
Yes.
How do you tell that to people that are looking at you going, oh, you can't be on this course then?
Yeah, well, we could do the course, but we'd already told them what our outfit was. So that after that, was no more towing for Mandy with that outfit.
Which actually then meant, right, well, I'm not towing either.
Yeah. So the Caravan went.
Yeah.
Again.
And I think after that it was quite a few years, wasn't it? Maybe like another 3-4 years. And it was when your mum died, wasn't it? You were like, I need to go out and change things.
I've missed it. More to life than sitting in a house.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So we got a small van and a small car, sort of small car. I think it was a Mondeo or something like that.
Yeah, and a 2-berth caravan, because at this point Jen was at college.
Yeah.
And she'd said that she would want to come with us every now and again. So we figured that she's old enough to stay at home. So if she wanted to come with us, she could have a tent in the awning. Yeah,
because this thing was used from somebody's. We went and picked it up from somebody, and it was what is it now? Plates, cutlery,
everything.
2 awnings, a massive awning and a porch awning, stuff like that.
It literally had everything. All of the water carrier containers, even the hitch locks and stuff. It came with everything. It was a bargain.
Yeah, and awnings are for divorces. That's all I'm saying about that.
Yeah, that's why I do that.
Yeah.
Oh, did that.
Did
that.
Not do
Yes.
anymore.
No.
So that was really good, and we really liked that one. And then we decided, because I wanted a better car, because my car was always the towing car. I wanted a better car. And which meant that you had to go for a towing course. Yeah, because it was the Monday was right on the limit with this caravan. And then we figured that if I've got my licence, we can get a bigger van. Why not get a bigger caravan? So I had an Audi RS6 Avant at the time. So you did your towing lessons.
Yes, yes, I did my driving instructor, the towing instructor Vinny. Fantastic guy, but he loved that car. Yeah. He said it was a highlight of his week coming around and me driving in that. But it was brilliant. Passed my test. 1 minor. And that was as I was turning into the test centre. I didn't make it clear enough that I'd checked my mirror. Boo. However, I'll take the hit. It's fine. I did look, of course. Also figured out that if you pass your test in an automatic, that you can then only tow with an automatic. I've got the lovely number 78 after my B plus E thing on my licence, so that's something that need to say thanks to Rich for helping me out with that one.
To explain that one. But that does mean in the future though, if we ever do go back, no, I'm never going to say that, we're never going to go to towing a caravan.
Nope.
But if you pass your towing test in an automatic vehicle, you can only tow with an automatic vehicle.
Even if you passed your regular test in a manual. So
such is life.
Yes, forever learning.
Yeah. So now we had the ability to tow a bigger van.
Yep.
We went and got a bigger van.
Yes, we did.
And we got a Challenger with an island bed.
An island bed at the back. One of those ones that slides in and out because it had a bathroom at the back.
Yeah, it was a transverse island bed with a piece that you used to take out near the head that allowed you to squidge it up out of the way so you can get easier access to the toilet and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, we had looked at the French bed layout because there was a lot of them with the French bed, but I got really claustrophobic.
Yeah, with a bit of chamfer and all that at the side, it looked a bit odd, didn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't ideal. So the island bed was wonderful, and then we still had the seating area at the front. And then if Jem ever did want to, Jem ever did want to come with us, then there's a full double in a separate area, which was perfect.
And then we kind of, I don't know of that one. We got back into using it again and going on holidays and all that, but
we liked all of our posh things with it. We liked the super pitches if we could get them, but definitely hard standings and level hard standings. Yeah,
and I guess it was the thing of we don't want Cooper walking in mud into the van. We want to go somewhere, but my job really, I'd only find out maybe on a Wednesday or Thursday if we'd be going away for the weekend, and you try and book a campsite for the weekend with a super pitch, and it was just never going to happen.
They were just all gone, so it made it a little bit more awkward to find.
The trip that actually changed us into thinking we're going to change away from caravans was Glastonbury.
Yeah. And we were at this, I think it's called the Old Oaks caravan site. Wonderful, 5-star, adults only. You could get a massage when you went to the toilet. It was great. Not actually in the toilet,
not as a person,
as outside. But it was absolutely fantastic site. And we were set up, no table lamp. And we'd go out to like Cheddar Gorge and see all the campervans, and then go back to the campsite again and think I would have really liked to stay at Cheddar Gorge
because people
longer.
are just seeing on the car park and they're just staying there
and having a brew in there, and it's just like, whoa, are we missing something here?
So we had actually pulled into laybys in the past and done stuff like that, but then if you forget to put the steadies down, Mandy walks in the back and then goes to the back of the van and it pulls at the front and all that. So we thought, we need a motorhome. Yep. So we went to Loudham's in Huddersfield, which was the closest one that had decent stock near where we lived at the time anyway.
Yeah.
Found a Bessica 412 and sold them the car and the caravan. Just traded it in.
Yep, they were absolutely brilliant. Gave us a really good deal, helped us out with loads of stuff, got a discount in the shop, so Mandy was happy.
There you go. Quite a funny story. Drove the car in there and he says, yeah, I can give you a price on it. I just need to test drive in it. And he came back about 15 minutes later with a really smiley face.
Yeah, because this was the RS60.
Yeah. And I said, you have a nice time? He went, yeah, it's a good car, that, isn't it? I said, did you see the dash cam on the windscreen? Should I play it back? And he went all bright red, didn't he?
Yeah.
But I think he was buying it for himself, wasn't he?
So we'll let him off because he did buy the car.
But yeah, that was a nice van. We went and did the Tour de France in that one.
Yeah, that was one of their Loudon specials as well. So it had all of the goodies on it, didn't it? Like the winter pack and the crash thing for the gas, so you didn't have to turn it off and on when you're driving. And wicked thing, and perfect for the Tour de France.
It was great for that, but it still had the made-up kind of like bed at the front, which is its Achilles heel, really. That was the only
it's kind
thing.
of like 2 bench seats at the front, and then you turned the front and the driver's seat and the passenger seat to rear face. And then that made a long bed. Yeah.
Or you pulled the slats between them, and that made a transverse
double, which we never did. We just had them as singles because it was much easier. Yeah. But it was only 6 meters long, so we could literally chuck it anywhere.
Sit on the driveway as well,
Yeah.
Which is part of the remit of why we changed as well, is lack of storage fees, really. So put it on the driveway. That was good, but it was only a 6 meter driveway. That was that issue. I then had kidney stones, which was just unfortunate timing, but it just meant that the money we were paying out on the motorhome sat in the driveway just really wasn't sitting well with us.
No, and seeing it sat there not doing anything for almost a year, I think it was like 8 months or so, and it didn't show any signs of getting better, your kidney stone. So we decided that we'd just do hotels and things for a while.
So we got rid of it, sold it, got a normal car again. Like you said, just did all sorts of holidays with hotels and stuff like that.
Yeah, we did Land's End to John O'Groats, and then
and then side to side.
St David's to Great Yarmouth. Yeah. And then did a drive around northern France and stuff. So it didn't stop us by not having it, but we missed it.
Yeah, I think it was the northern France trip that we're like, this would be so cool if it was in a motorhome.
Yeah.
But then we'd also worked out in having that motorhome, and we'd gone round Great Yarmouth and all the places like that. No, it wasn't Great Yarmouth, it was Skegness or somewhere like that. But we'd learnt that height barriers are a major problem. So I said, well, if we're going to do it again, let's get a small camper van that can get under height. So 2 meters was our limit. and that's when we found the T6. Now, some of you may have seen it, some of you may not, but it was our first one to feature on this channel anyway.
Yeah.
Because it came with the weirdest fit inside layout.
Yeah.
So
it had a wine rack. A wine rack in a T6.
Well, yeah. But the weirdest bed that had like 13 pieces to make up the bed.
It was the worst game of Jenga ever. I mean, the people that had converted it was no expense spared. It was the weirdest layout, but they'd had a cracking fridge and an Eberspacher diesel heater and all the quality stuff put in it.
Yeah, the high-low pop-top roof on it and everything as well. So that was all good, but the layout was rubbish. So we decided to rip it out and put a traditional layout in there, like a rock and roll bed and all the furniture down one side, and that worked out. Apart from the fact that it didn't work out, we thought, well, either make or break. It'll either make it easier to sell, or it'll break the idea we had, and it broke the idea.
Yeah,
it was like 2 or 3 weekends away, and it was just a pain, wasn't it?
Because there was nowhere. I mean, there was with the rock and roll bed down, there was a little bit of space for Coop, but then if you needed a toilet in the middle of the night and you pulled the loo out, there was nowhere for Coop to go. So Coop had to then get on the. And yeah, it was the wrong kind of thing. And I think there's only so many times you can wake up and see the other half squatting at the end of the bed. Sorry, honey.
Yeah.
But you think that it was our decision. Then we needed a bathroom door.
Yeah. So that led me to change into the last van we had, the Auto Fail. And for you new people, it was called Auto Fail because it was built by Auto Trail, but it failed to meet every single safety standard out there, and everything was wrong with it. So I rebuilt it.
Yep.
And that was all right. I would say that was like one of the best leisure vehicles we've owned.
Yes.
Right until the fact that we went full-time in it when we sold the house, and now we do actually live full-time in the van. And then it got really tricky, especially because Coop's getting an older dog and he didn't have much internal space, and he couldn't jump up out the way.
There's so many times we have the camera inside. There's so many times, even if we're just sat outside and he's locked inside because it's too cold or whatever, and we can see him try to jump up on the bed because he wanted to lie down, and he couldn't get up there. So that was heartbreaking, seeing how difficult he was finding it.
Yeah.
It cost us a fortune, this dog. Honestly.
Which brings us up to date is where we are now. Because just before lockdown, we made the decision, coming back into the UK from travelling around Europe, that we'd change the van and we'd go to a motorhome, but this time without having a house, without having the restriction of size of a driveway to park it or anything like that. We just went for the layout and the size that was exactly what we needed for our needs now. Yeah,
so we're still only at 7 metres, but it's a very important extra metre, which still means, that it's not massive.
No,
because we wanted something that would do. We
still
didn't want
fit in
the
a
older
car park and stuff like that.
Didn't one of those massive big Concords, that you can have like the cars that fit underneath it and stuff. But just something that would do. We didn't want massive. And this feels opulent and posh.
Yes,
it does. It still feels like it's
5-star
holiday.
Hotel.
Yeah,
I keep saying it's a 5-star hotel.
Yeah,
we have got all the storage we need and then some. Fair enough. We have a weight limit. It's 3.5 ton, and we have to stick to that. That's our only real limit of what we can carry is weight limit.
Unless I want to pass a test, unless I take my C1, is it? I've got to do. Then apart from that, we have to stay at 3.5 tons. So we've just got to be careful with that little balance. But
we've been on the weighbridge and done that. We did it in the last van as well. So you go on the weighbridge, you measure, the weight of the van, and then make sure that everything you put in after that you weigh, and then you always know your weight limit. Then
it's really weird because we've got one of those little old analog weigh scales like you have for holidays and stuff, so anything big that comes in or out of the van we normally weigh. We don't have pork belly in the van anymore because the pork belly weighed 5 and a bit kilos.
And if we're going away off grid, sort of like wild camping, which we are now for a few weeks, we want to carry more water, which means obviously that's more weight. 1 litre of water is 1 kilogram of weight,
So yeah, it's one of it's a fine balance, isn't it, of getting that right. But I think I have loved the journey that we've had. Yeah. Because I feel like apart from a tent, which we bought a tent and it got put up in the back garden of the house.
I'm not doing tent.
And then you never even slept in it, and then my sister bought it from us. Yeah. With all the kit and everything, because you were just like, you wanted something solid underneath you. It was just, that's the only thing. We'd even looked at trailer tents to see which way we should go.
But, no, not for that either.
But I think I've enjoyed it because I didn't mind the towing. I could have done without the bits of falling out.
Yeah.
That we've had along the way with pitching up and towing and all those other things. And we've worked out now that if ever we do go back to towing, which John will never ever do again, but it works out well that I drive and John navigates. It just works better that way.
But I do think
I'm not as grumpy.
She's just sassy instead, isn't she? Yeah, but I do think that, like Mandy says, the process of going through all that has led us to where we're at now, and the fact of, like we said, our desire to be out in nature a lot more, just to travel around and see more things. Yep. And it's changed us in the way that now we'll rock up to any old field. Yep. As long as it's semi-level, we can sleep, and the pans don't all, leak out when Mandy's cooking and stuff like that.
Yeah, we've had a couple where it's been borderline.
Yeah. But what more can you say that it is something that I think you need to have a desire for. I think you just got the need to go and travel and to get outdoors. I think whether you like towing, that's up to you. Whether you like a confined little van like the T6 and that you can cope with all that, again, that's up to you. Whether the last van that we had, is for most people everything they ever need, including full-timers. We know loads of people that do it.
Yeah, that are in panel van conversions and absolutely adore them and love the space that they've got in them. They are so versatile. Either build your own, buy one that's half done or done and redo it and change it to your heart's content. And
that's something else. When we've had all these caravans and campervans, motorhomes, up to the campervan we rebuilt, we'd never really made any changes. We were scared of doing anything. It's like, oh no, we can't do anything to it.
Even putting things on the wall, we
even
didn't want to do.
Even putting a shelf in or something.
Yeah, it was so weird.
Whereas now, we started obviously rebuilding the T6, and then we rebuilt the Jakarta before this, and we've done loads of changes in this van. And now we'll just change whatever. It's your vehicle. Make it, make any changes you need to make it more comfortable for you, is the message for that one, I'd say.
Yeah, so it doesn't have to be perfectly ideal when you first buy it, just the layout is everything. And I know loads of people have said this, and there's been loads of Q&As about why you chose yours or whatever, but layout is absolute king, I think.
So I think, like you said, the layout is the perfect thing to focus on. So, price, size, its features, they're all a consideration, but the layout, you really think about the layout and how it's going to work for you. I'd like to add on there as well that we've noticed as we've changed as people and as the things that we do change, circumstances like Cooper and stuff like that, so that layout and the van's changed too. And that's why we're in this van right now. I say van, it's a motorhome, and I know some of you don't like, it's not a van.
It says motor caravan
on the V5.
Yeah, so it's a van,
and it started life as a van because this bit's a van.
Yeah, but then you've always got the thing as well, the Serendipity Journey on, I don't know if they're just on Instagram, but they've got a fully fledged motorhome with the over cab bed and everything. They've had that interior taken out and most of it and put back again. So even if you buy something and it doesn't fit, as long as the space is fine, then you can change it.
Yeah, we did that on the last van. And we changed the whole back of the van, but we even looked at changing the front of the van as well to try and make it a little bit easier, but it just wouldn't have worked. So yeah, you can make changes, but just bear in mind that there's always going to be something out there that's better if your circumstances change.
Yeah.
So don't ever be thinking like, oh, I've got to stay in this thing or something.
Yeah.
So the highlights of this video are: John doesn't like towing.
John doesn't like awnings.
Awnings are for divorces. Don't ever have a kidney stone. And
if you take your towing lessons in an auto, you can only tow with an auto.
Yep. And as we always say, if you're thinking about doing it, then just stop thinking and just go and do it.
And whichever way you want to do it. You want to buy a caravan, you want to do a tiny van conversion, a panel van conversion, or just get a motorhome, whichever way. You have a time of your life. Yeah. You will. And if you're worried about finding a park up, then don't be. At the beginning, it is hard. It is hard to figure out what daunting. You need. Yeah, because it's just like, will it be safe? But the more you do it, the easier it becomes to find them. We hardly ever use Park for Nights now, because John is a demon with it. He can find them.
You just get to know where to look on a map. use Google Maps and you just get to know what you're looking for. So.
But then people told us that. We were asking CJ, for instance, and he'd go, you just look on a map. And you're like, but what do you look for? And he goes, well, I can't explain. Experience will tell you. So the more you do it, the better you'll get. Yeah.
Right. This is probably a long one now, looking at the clock on the video.
He's never going to get me to show up, is he? Come on already.
But I hope it brings you some clarity if you are thinking about, different types of leisure vehicles, and I hope that you understand the process of what it is that we love about being out in the van. Just the freedom of it. So yeah. If you've got any questions, please do ask in the comment section down below, and we will catch you on the next video.
See you soon.
See you soon.
Bye.